Bam, we're live. All right. Let's get a couple things set up. Welcome. Got a good one here for you. Yeah, welcome. Just getting started. If you're new, let us know where you're from. Here to talk to remodelers. All right. Share my screen. Welcome. It's day 77. For those of you that have been following along, we're coming up on 100 days of remodeling success. All right, here we go. So, big thing in remodeling that can really separate your business is the referral game. And a lot of guys either feel like they're begging or they get desperate and they start trying to offer money, and neither of those usually work. If the clients wanted more money, they would go into selling remodeling services. And when you start offering money for referrals, your clients start wondering if maybe you're charging too much. So a lot of guys like to give money discounts. Like, I'll give you $100 for every referral. It leaves a bad taste in the average homeowner mouth. So don't do that. All right, dive in. If you're new here, welcome. And let me know where you're from. You got any questions about remodeling, chime in. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about some things that I've found that have worked really well in the remodeling business for referrals. We've landed quite a few nice projects from some of these similar concepts, and they're very easy to put into place, but they're very different than probably what you've seen other people doing and what you're probably doing now. So referrals aren't an ask. They're like a moment that you design. You create them. So when you have more experience in the industry, you'll start finding that you can build this momentum before you even step on the job site in the first place, ever swing a hammer. Everybody here would say they want referrals, and the referrals are their best clients, right? And there is a way to help facilitate more referrals. Welcome. So these are typically the ones that don't beat you up on price. They typically will sign with you faster. They already have some confidence in you because you've probably done successful work for somebody else, right? And so some of you are like, I get all my work from referrals. That's awesome. And you should be getting even more, like leaning in, right? Many remodelers leave referrals more to this luck, or it's an awkward thing where they kind of feel like they're begging, and they wait till the end of the job to even do it. So then it feels even more awkward. The smart contractors are bringing up referrals from the moment they step foot to even estimate the job. It's called pre-framing. And you're getting that client primed and letting them understand that this is the normal way to do business with you, and this is what people who do business with you do, right? They become a referral machine, and it becomes a culture, and it just transforms the whole process. It transforms everyone's mindset. Instead of them feeling awkward, like I don't want to call my friends, to I can't wait to share with them how awesome you guys are. So referrals aren't something you ask for. They're something that you seed, earn, and reward. All right, think about that. It's a 3-step process, and it starts from day one when you first get that first phone call. So here's what some of the guys that do this really well, this is how they're handling that. All right, and if you're new, welcome. Let me know where you're from if you have any questions at any time. All right, so here we go. There's a thing called an ARI, and that's an applied relational intelligence. We've talked about that before. If you're new here, you can see a previous video. And this is what you do. It's called future pacing, and you plant referrals. So you say something like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, most of my clients, they already start telling their friends and coworkers about us before the job even starts because they're shocked at how efficient we are in our entire process. And that starts getting them thinking, right? That's the confidence. That's seeding. You're putting out the idea already. It's no awkwardness. It's no ask. You haven't asked them anything. You're telling them how other clients have performed. Okay. So, two, you start building jobs that are easy to brag about, right? So, this all comes from the way you present your design process, to your pre-construction meeting, to the clean job site, to the we don't bounce policy, okay? To the end of your job celebration. The we don't bounce policy, I bring this up a lot with homeowners. I'm like, Mr. and Miss Smith, we have fun, but we don't bounce. And they're like, what do you mean? And I said, once we start your job, we stay on your job from start to finish. We don't come here for 2 days and then disappear, bounce, and go to 3 other jobs and then come back a week or 2 later. That is a huge fear because that's what the average contractor does. So when you put this into your presentation early on, you're eliminating one of their biggest fears. We don't bounce. Okay, it can be as simple as that, meaning we don't jump around and we're not scattered from job to job to job. Now, you have to follow through on this. Okay, so that's why you have to have a good schedule. You're giving the client the story. And this is a story that they can share. They can share with their coworkers. Our contractor, they're amazing. They don't bounce around from job to job. Once they start our job, they stay on it till it's finished. Just doing that alone will get you more referrals. You want to create what is known as clear and a rewarding reason to refer. Don't give money for your referrals. If the homeowner wanted money, they would get into selling remodeling services. I want you to think about that for a moment. It makes them feel cheap. It makes them feel like they're getting something that they don't really want. They don't want money. They want the other homeowners to feel excited like they do. They want them to have an amazing project. So you don't give cheap cash rewards, right? Hey, tell your friends and I'll give you $50. That's not what they're looking for, okay? But what you can offer them is a private dinner at a local restaurant where the chef maybe prepares a special meal for them. You provide them with an experience. Now look, it still costs you money, but it's the way you're presenting it to the homeowner that shifts everything. Maybe you present them with a spa package, Maybe you take them on a fishing trip or give them a gift certificate for a fishing trip. You don't give them cash, you give them an experience. They can come back to their coworkers and their coworkers like, hey, where were you yesterday? Like, we went fishing. How'd you do that? Well, our contractor put us on a charter. Do you see what I mean? Or I was at the day spot on Saturday. Well, tell them, how'd you do that? Well, our contractor gave us that because I've referred him 3 people in our neighborhood. Now people want the experience, right? You're providing them something that they normally probably wouldn't do. All of this makes people want it. And they're like, damn, how can I find a couple more people? I got like 3 friends that are going to be getting kitchens. I am going to tell them to call you so that I can get that fishing trip. Okay? That's how you build a strong referral base. You're letting the homeowner know that you see them, right? And that we've made this for you. So I would suggest you custom tailor some of your offers. You should have like 2 or 3, and as you're meeting with the homeowner, and you get a sense for what they may like if they have a bunch of fishing gear in their garage when you pull up, you say, hey, you like to fish a lot? Well, you might be interested in our referral program. You're talking about the referral program before you've even given them a quote on the kitchen. You see how it shifts everything? All right. I think you guys are picking up on this. It turns referrals into a status thing for your clients, right? All right. So we do this by pre-framing in our initial conversation. And it's that initial consultation where you're using ARI. This is a strategy, okay? You stop going into these meetings haphazard. You come in with a game plan, right? It's like you're a general and you've got an army, and this is the way you execute so that everything is efficient and effective, okay? So again, it's applied relational intelligence. That's the languaging that you use. You mention the referral experience during your initial warm-up and talk with them, right? You let them know that several of your past clients, you've hosted celebration parties for them when the project's completed. Here's the beauty in this. The homeowner wants an amazing experience. They are scared to death of the contractor that they're hiring not finishing the job. So when you turn the table and say, not only do we finish the job, but we throw celebration parties for our clients. And in fact, we just did one for the Smiths down the street. Were you at that? It changes everything, right? You might be working the grill. Maybe you've just bought all the refreshments. And the homeowner is now having a celebration party out on the brand new deck that you just built for all their neighbors, their coworkers. Maybe their kids are in like a volleyball or a softball league, and the end of the year team party is being hosted at their house because you just built them this new outdoor living space, and you're hosting the party. You see, you're sponsoring it. Like, it changes the whole dynamic. All the homeowners are like, this is amazing. Your contractor is paid for this party for you? Man, our contractor didn't do that. We're thinking of getting our kitchen done. Would you do our kitchen? And would you put on a party for us like this? You're like, absolutely. Guys, little shifts like this just change the whole dynamic. All right, I think you're starting to get it. You want to track your referrals, and you want to reward the best clients. The ones that give you a bunch, you provide them with more and more amazing experiences. Okay, take them, send them a gift certificate so they can go skeet shooting. Set them up with a special package, right? Make a relationship with a local restaurant, and you go in, you talk to the owner and say, hey, we're the big time remodeler in the neighborhood. We do all these jobs. Our homeowners, we want to have a night, maybe it's Tuesday night, and we'd like to have them come in. You sit them at the best table in the house. You come out, your chef comes out, and you offer them like a special menu, something to say, hey, thanks, you worked with so-and-so contracting. They're a big client of ours as well. And all of a sudden, the homeowner's getting this nice, intimate experience that they don't get any other time. They can't get it any other time. They get to meet the owner of the restaurant. They get to meet the chef. The chef prepares them a special meal. And you paid and provided all of that in the background for them. Okay. These are the types of things that a homeowner is like, damn, I want that. And when they tell their friends the next day at work, or they're at the little softball game and they're telling that the moms group that they're in, our contractor sent us to that restaurant, that fancy one in town. And listen to this, we got our own table. We were set over here. The chef came out, prepared our own special dish, wasn't even on the menu. All of a sudden, other people want that experience. And the only way they get it is by hiring you to do their project and then referring you to other people. So, all right, so just imagine, what if it no longer felt weird asking for referrals, but it's almost like you're not even asking for them because you're just explaining what they could get if they provided them. You're not asking for them. You're just telling them, if you guys did give us some referrals, this is what could happen. You're not asking. This is called positioning. You're planting the seed, the idea that they could get something really cool, and they would naturally then want to share it. Let's say the client doesn't want to refer you. Doesn't matter. You still made them feel valued. You still made them feel special and seen, and you've offered them the opportunity. It's up to them. You see, it shifts the whole dynamic. And often, even introverted folks will start thinking, damn, I'd like to have that experience. Who could I? And then the next time they're in a social gathering where someone's asking or talking about doing a future remodeling project, they'll be much more inclined to step forward and say, maybe I should tell them about our contractor. He was amazing. So what if you're not sure what referral to offer? Like, this comes up a lot. And I get it. We're not all social party planners. I wasn't this way either. Guys, understand, this took me a long time to figure this concept out. It wasn't even my idea originally. It was my ex-wife's idea in the office saying, hey, we should really give these homeowners something special when they remodel with us. And I was like, you're damn right we should. And when they refer us to other people. And we came up with gift baskets ideas, and then we started doing the experience idea. So you just start small. Start with one thing, okay? Pick something that's local to your area. If you live in a region where there's something really cool to do and people would love that experience, you provide that experience for them, okay? Start with one thing, maybe two things. And then as you get to know homeowners more, you customize what you're giving them as the reward based off of what they would really enjoy. And you can flat out ask them. I would say to a homeowner, hey, do you like to hunt? Do you shoot skeet? Do you like to fish? Do you golf? Do you play pickleball? Like, okay. And they're like, why? Say, well, people that refer us to a lot of other businesses, we have a rewards program where we'll provide you with experiences like that. And I was just curious, when we're done the job here and you refer us to other people, what would you like to do? And they'll look at you a little funny, like, what's he talking about? But it'll start getting them thinking. And they'll come back to you later and tell you, hey, you remember when you asked us? We'd really like to go on that fishing charter you talked about. We like to fish for rockfish. Perfect. We'll set you up for that. Now, look, some of this stuff is seasonal, some's not. But you get the idea. You're putting out experiences. All right. So that's what I have for you. If anybody has any questions, fire away. I have Jay Allen, welcome. See that you jumped in at some point. Happy, what are we on? Monday? Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have? So I enjoy talking about the referral program, the reward system. Yeah, man, do it. Awesome. We had a beautiful day here, great weekend. So days like that are good. Help you get ready for Monday. This is a funny story. I don't know. I've never lived in a community. So as I've shared with you, we recently moved. We live in a new community. We have a place on the water, and we're in a part of town where there's only one way in here, and you drive all the way back down this road, and then you come into our community. And the community has become a golf cart community. So a lot of people, we have like a community center. We have like a place you can rent a hall and throw parties, and there's a beach and a public dock if you need to get your boats in and out, things like that, all this fun stuff. And one of the things this community puts on is a Halloween golf cart parade. This is crazy. People in the neighborhood take their golf carts and they decorate them for Halloween. Crazy. And then they do a parade. So anyway, that was tonight. So that was kind of fun to watch. I've never experienced anything like that. Yeah, so good. I'm glad you're having a good weekend, and don't know what kind of silliness you're getting into, but that's what we were doing here. So here's Jay. I don't know how far into the thing you were on tonight. I don't give money to the referrals. I give them an experience. Now, you have to look at how much are the job that they're referring you to, and what would that typically cost you if you had to advertise for it. So like in my world, for me to land a bath remodel, a kitchen remodel, a deck, it's going to cost me between like $35 to $100 in marketing, advertising, paying, some lead service minimum, right? That's just, so it's usually going to cost me $100 to probably get something between a $5,000 and $50,000 job, probably somewhere in that range. Okay. So if you're looking to get service work, which is probably going to be more like $1,000, in my mind, I would spend $50 all day long to get another 1,000. That's just to me, right? Like if I said to you, Jay Allen, you hand me 50, I will give you 1,000 in a job, right? Like all day long. It's almost like a no-brainer. You'd give me 50 so that you got 1,000. Okay, so no, I wouldn't do the gift card. Follow me on this. If it's for an experience. So follow me this way. If you have a local restaurant near you, again, independently owned, not a chain, something like maybe like a nice Italian place, a nice Mexican place, a Greek, whatever. Something that's not Applebee's style, just something a little bit nicer. So let's just say the average dinner is probably going to cost $60, maybe $100 if they buy drinks. What you could do is go in, talk to the owner of the restaurant, let them know that you're the local guy in town, like you offer this amazing plumbing service, and you want to provide a unique dining experience for some of your best customers. You would like them to come in. Now, think about this. Restaurants struggle with getting people in during the week, like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whatever. You ask the owner of the restaurant, what's your slowest night here? They'll tell you. You say, how about this? What if I gave my customers a dining experience where I pay for it, they come to you, and you set them up with one of the nicest tables in the restaurant? You as the owner or your head chef, you come out, you talk to them for a second, you thank them for being here, and you let them know that you're going to give them something a little bit special that's not on the menu if they like it. And it's just a nice dining experience. That might cost you anywhere from 50 to 100 bucks. You don't have to pay for drinks. You can just let the homeowners know, hey, we're covering all your food. Okay. Any alcohol is going to be separate. There's a lot of different ways you can phrase this, but you could work with the restaurant, and you could give the homeowner, say, look, here's a $50 voucher towards your dinner, or 75. I try to stay away from the actual like gift card thing. I try to make it more of the experience. So hopefully that makes sense. If you don't want to work with a restaurant, I would look at like maybe a local day spa, something that the homeowner could go in, and they could do couples massage if it's a husband, wife, whatever. I would also look at, do you have like a gun club, fishing, pickleball, I don't know. You have to look at what's popular down in your neck of the woods, like in the neighborhoods that you work in. And what do you think most of your homeowners would really like to do? I can tell you that eating is a no-brainer. Now, they might not all like Italian, so you might have to do this with like 2 different restaurants. There you go, the day spa. So you could walk into a local day spa, take the same approach, ask them, what is the slowest day? And the reason you're asking them for the slowest day, because you're going to negotiate a little bit of a better deal. Follow me on this. The reason I was saying you don't give the gift card to the homeowner, and I wasn't clear about this. You want to go to that restaurant owner and say, hey, what could you provide for 50 bucks? Where I just tell the homeowner that I've paid for their dinner. I don't tell them how much. You just come out and offer them a special meal at this price point. And we let them know that alcohol is separate, but that the meal itself is on the house. Things like appetizers, desserts, that could be all separate or included. It just depends on how much you want to spend and the style of restaurant in your neighborhood. Like some places this could get expensive, some places not. So you see what I'm saying? There's a ton of variables, but you negotiate a good deal with the restaurateur or the day spa. Like if the day spa says, hey, we don't have anybody ever come in on Tuesdays. So you offer to the homeowner, this is a special day that you get to go on a Tuesday. And it's a special day where they do for their best people. The public doesn't usually come in on Tuesday, and that's why it's special for you. Something like that. Does that make sense? And you could probably get so massages might be a little more expensive. I bet they're probably running like 75 bucks for a massage. So if you did a couples massage, it might cost you 150. Now, the way you could spin this is you could tell your current customers, hey, I can get you a day spa for one referral. Once you hit your second referral, if you gave us 2 good referrals, I could get you a couples day spa activity. There's different ways you can language this. You could also do nail at the local salon for women. They like that. Even some men are getting manicures nowadays. So I don't know. Anything's possible. So you can tie this to a reward system. This structure set up for you. If you want to wait till you've gotten 3 referrals and then they get the reward, you can do that as well. And I have sat with homeowners, and we've sat there at their kitchen table, and they've said, I wonder how I could get 3 people for you right now. And they'll go through their Rolodex, and they'll even reach out. Some people do this. They'll call their friends and say, hey, would you talk to Mike and his company about your kitchen that you want to do? All right, hold on. If I'm following what you're saying, follow me here. What we do is Afternoon. I'm thinking we need this. Yes. So here's what you do when you're talking with the homeowner, or you're out on the job, you explain to them, it's called pre-framing. You tell them, hey, Mr. Ms. Smith, you know what's great about hiring us to come out and do that service work? Many of our clients are already referring us to other people because they cannot believe how we answer the phone, how we show up on time, how we do the job straight through. We fix it right the first time. We leave the house spick and span. It's clean. We're polite. We're respectful. All these basic business things that you excel at and you share with the homeowner. This is what's so hard for all of your neighbors to find, your coworkers to find, right? Your family. They don't know who to call. It's a nightmare out there trying to find a contractor. And you could be the hero just by letting them know that we do all this. So there's a way that you can start talking about your referral program. You can say to the homeowner, yeah, a lot of my clients are referring me before I'm even finished the job because they want to get that dining experience. They want that nice restaurant gift experience. Yeah. All right. You're seeing it. But you see what I mean? So in your world, we'd have to look at the numbers. What is the typical reward that you're getting back? And what would be, you could just start with a gift basket. You could let them know that we have this nice gift basket. Your wife, I think it's your wife, she could go onto Amazon and look at, you could pre-package. You could buy a bunch of nice gift baskets. You put like some coffee and tea, a little bit of chocolate, a couple bath salts, whatever. Just this nice little care package. And you put it all and you wrap it up into a nice little gift basket. And you can let the homeowner know that, hey, if you can help send us over to one of your neighbors or friends, we have this nice little thank you. It's a nice gift package that you can win or receive. And then if you can send us to 2 or 3, we do the dining. We have this exclusive dining agreement where you can have your own private dining experience at the local restaurant. You're going to have to set up some parameters. Okay. It's a little trickier if you're only getting like $500 to $1,000 jobs, right? Whereas for me, if I'm landing like a $5,000 to $50,000 job, I can easily dish out $150 for that restaurant experience. Does that make sense? It's a lot harder if the job's only $1,000. So you have to balance it out. But I'm sharing all of this before I've even completed the job. You would almost, when you come meet with the homeowner, you have a little handout that talks about your referral program. You could even put on there, like, if you want to start doing, I know you're saying you're going to wait, but imagine, hey, if you refer us to a bathroom remodel, you could get, then we have this private dining experience all ready to go for you. Exactly. Jay, this is what's interesting. For years, I tried the thing where I would give them money. I would say, hey, you could get like, we'll give you $50 or $100, or we'll give you money off a future referral. And what I found was, see, I was motivated by money because I was paying for leads. And I was like, well, if I give them the money, I'm already paying it to the lead service, but now I'm not because it's being a referral. I could reward my homeowners. My homeowners weren't motivated by money. In fact, it made it awkward. And they looked at me like, they started saying things like, well, does that mean you're overcharging me $100 because or my neighbor? Are you charging them $100 to give it to me? That's going to make me feel weird that my buddy that I got $100 because I told them to call you. This whole thing about giving them money in my world, what I found, it makes the transaction of asking for referrals a bit weird. Okay. Whereas when you provide them with an experience or a gift basket, it's different. They want the thing. They want the experience. It just, I don't know how to. It's just psychologically it works really well. And you'll literally have some homeowners. Now, again, this isn't every personality, But there are certain homeowners that are connectors. And I've talked about this before. I believe you might have been on. Like I have this one lady, she's a younger girl. She's like 30, in her 30s. She's referred me to her moms that she knows, people that she works out with, people that are in some sort of like a fitness group with her. She does something else. She's in a book club. She's referred me to, I don't know, like 10 people. She loves to be the person who solves other people's problems. And as soon as they talk about needing a contractor, she's on it. She's like, you have to call Mike. In fact, I'm going to message him right now. I'll send him your name and number. She includes me in a group text message. Like this, she's like a marketing machine. She doesn't want money. Does that make sense? Yes. And you know what? Yes, you're seeing it. And there's some people that they like to share and solve people's problems. And when they find something that works really well and they notice how rare it is, right? Like a contractor that answers the calls, shows up on time, gets the job done, is polite, professional, all the things that is so hard to find, they're like a savior for their friends. And it gives them social status. So they like being able to refer you around because it helps elevate their like authority in a sense, or their, I don't know. You see what I'm talking about? Like every personality is a little different, but there's people like this. And if you get them on your team, the next thing you know, you're sending them a gift card so that they can, she and her husband can go out to dinner one night. You know, they're like, this is amazing, or the day spa, whatever it is. And then it just reinforces the behavior. They're like, "Ah, we gotta send Mike a few more referrals and we can get another one of these experiences." Yes, you've been her plumber for years. Exactly. Yep. Those are the people, And look, not everyone's going to do that, but the ones that do, man, take advantage of it and reward them, and thank them and appreciate them because it's truly amazing that they do that they have that power or that gift, I guess, and that they like you enough to share because they don't have to. They could easily stop doing it. Mm. So, but yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do if you, um, whatever you seem to find a lot of your homeowners like. I don't know. Like for people that live on in a waterfront community, it could be a fishing package. You could give them a fishing rod and a tackle box. I don't know. You can. What I'm trying to say is just be a little creative. Think outside the box and try a couple different things. Um, just don't give money. You know, I see a lot of people trying to do that for referrals. And the other thing you can do, if you bring it up in the pre-construction phase before you've done the work, you could say, hey, listen, when we're finished here, I think you're going to be real excited. And like a lot of our other clients, you're probably already going to know like 3 other people that you could refer us to. So we'll sit down and talk for a minute and you can let me know who they are. Maybe you'll send them a text message or give them a phone call while I'm here, you know, and you can put it out there that this could be what happens so that when you are done the job and they're writing up, you say, hey, who are those 3 people that you thought should know about how great the service was here? And then it doesn't become as awkward. And by asking for 3, hopefully you get 1. Yeah, exactly. You want to show up for the dinner. Perfect. So what's crazy about doing the restaurant experience with the local restaurateur, you're helping their business out a lot. And here's what's going to end up happening. I know you're not looking to do commercial work, and that's not what I'm saying here. But that owner of that restaurant, they know people. And they're going to start saying, my God, this guy, Jay Allen, he's sending me a couple a month for this private dining experience. His customers love him. They are referring him everywhere. And it's going to start making that restaurant owner go, man, I probably could talk to, I know people that need a plumber. They should probably use him. This guy's amazing. And they're not even trying to get the reward. You might give him something else, or her, whoever owns the restaurant. It just gets people talking about you in a much different fashion, because you're doing something that's completely different than all the other plumbers that are out there. I guarantee you no other plumber right now is giving the homeowners a private dining experience at a local restaurant if they refer them to a couple clients. Yeah. So it takes a little effort in the beginning to get it going, and you'll feel awkward doing it the first couple times. But what's shocking is once you go through the motion and the client takes you up and you get the restaurant owner on board, and you have a couple good experiences, you're like, this is the best. You have to find a good restaurant owner. Okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because like you want it to represent how your company is. So you want to go around and find a good place where the owner's sharp. And hey, if you talk to one owner, they may not be up for it. You might have to go to more than one place. I don't know what it's going to be like in your neighborhood. So some people are very big on networking and they'll see the power in it. Some people, they might see it as a burden. Like, I'm not doing that. It's hard to say. But you can, by making up a little flyer that you can hand the customer when you first show up. We do this thing, what to expect during your project, that we hand the client, or we email it to them and then we hand them a copy. And you could do the same thing. Like, hey guys, while we're here, like we're going to be turning the water off most likely. And then down at the bottom, you put, and you might be interested in our referral rewards program. Would you like to have a private dining experience, or would you like to have a day at the spa? Well, here's how you can achieve that. And you just put that in the literature that you're handing to the homeowner while you're there. And they read that while you're up, and it starts getting them thinking like, what's this all about? What's your referral program? Can you explain that to me? And because the average homeowner, think about it from this perspective. They probably plugged in somehow in their community. If they have a family and they have young kids, then their kids probably play on some sports league, or they do cheerleading, or they're in the scouts. So they know people through that. They usually have a job, so they know people through that, right? And they have family. And so these people know a lot of other people that own a house, and at some point are going to need your service. So. Yep. Easy stuff. Let me see what else I have on here tonight. Let me see. Jan, you could, for your business, you could start with a small gift card to like a local coffee shop if you wanted. I could see that possibly work. I know I was originally thinking not to do the gift cards, but you could. I would find a local business, again, not a chain. I would find some hip local spot that's kind of cool and try to work out some sort of a deal where instead of them getting like $25 or $15, maybe they get a free seasonal drink and a pastry. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You want to work something out where you just want to stay away from like, here's a $15 gift card. That's what I'm trying to get at. If you can provide them where they can go in and they're like, oh, you're part of J. Allen's Plumbing Company. Okay, here's what you guys get. You pick any refreshment and any pastry that you want. It's on the house. You know, whatever, something like that. Yeah, I could see for your service, I could see you doing something in that range, 15, to 20 bucks, 20, 25 bucks. I mean, $25 is going to get you a whole lot of stuff at a coffee shop. I mean, you might start whatever. I don't know how much coffee and pastries are in your neck of the woods, but or maybe it's like a breakfast, like a lunch, a sandwich somewhere at a sub shop. Whatever. If there's something cool and hip, uh, like in my area, we have there's this one bagel company, and they are just killing it. They make fresh bagels every day, and that's part of their allure. But they started out with one little location. Now they have like 5 locations. I mean, people go to this place like like it's crack for them. I mean, they have really good coffee, strong coffee, and they have amazing breakfast sandwiches. All their lunch sandwiches are put on bagels. So a $25 gift card would go pretty far. It would at least get them a sandwich and a coffee. You know, we did Amazon gift card and a box. Yeah, there you go, Daisy. So very good. Yep. I like you adding the box of like cookies, something that I think that makes a big difference as well. Try to add, something that they feel special about receiving more than just the money. So JL, all right, this is a good thing. Think about this for a minute. You could do a double referral. The homeowner that you're getting ready to do the job for, you could give them a gift and say, hey, you were referred to us, so here's a little gift for you. And you could give a little gift to the person that referred you over to that. And imagine what that's going to do to this homeowner that is like, what? This plumber is amazing. He just gave me like, I don't know, the little gift card to the local restaurant or whatever it is. And they're shaking their heads, but you're like, well, you're part of our referral program. You were referred to us. You're a preferred client. So this is what we do for our preferred clients. And all of a sudden they feel like they're in a club. It's something a little special. People like feeling that way, and it's something super small. It could be like a $10 thing. I mean, if they're going to be giving you like 1,500 bucks, you know what I'm saying? Like an extra, in my mind, I would think that a $10 or $20 gift to them, a little gift basket, maybe some fresh, maybe there's a local farmer's market by you or some kind of stand that has really good fruits and I don't know. You put together, or somebody that makes local, this is really popular in my area. We have a lady, she makes local soaps. They're all natural made there and whatever. She does things like soaps and lotions. You could just put together a little care package. It probably costs like 15 bucks, and you just hand that to them and you're part of our referral program. And automatically that homeowner is going to be going, who can I refer him to? So I would consider trying it and see where it goes for you. Yeah. It gets people to feel like they're part of the club, And think about it this way. The average homeowner, they hate, and I mean they hate having to find a plumber or a contractor. It's awful. So if you start making that experience amazing for them and easy, it just changes the whole dynamic. Let me see. I so I will share, JL. I had one gentleman. He was a golf pro, and he knew people all over town. He referred me to so many jobs that when I remodeled his basement, I bought him and installed a big screen TV on the house. And because I was like, I want to thank you so much for all the referrals that you've given me over the last like 2 years. I mean, I did multiple projects for him. And when he hired me to remodel his basement, we did that. We went and bought, I said to him, I said, hey, where would you like a big screen TV? And he's like, well, we don't have one for it yet. I said, well, what size would you like if you had it? And I said, here's what we're going to do for you. You go, you pick it out. We're paying for it, and we're installing it for you. And it was several $100s at the time, but it was something that really meant something to him in a sense, as a way of me thanking him for all, because he was constantly he would just tell people like, you got to hire Mike. Mike's the best. His company pays attention to all the details. Stop calling these jokers around here. Right. And those are the kind of people that you want to reward. Anyway, what other things you guys got questions about? Anybody have trying to figure anything out? You can come up with a creative name for your referral program. You can use ChatGPT to say, hey, here's the name of my company. I want to come up with a unique club that is for people that refer us to other people, and they'll be members of the club. And you can ask ChatGPT to help you come up with a whole program, how to outline it, explain you're looking for jobs like this. You want to give away something that is in this price range, and it'll help give you an outline, something to start with. Yeah. Yeah, you have to, Jay Allen, if you like I said, since you have a referral job coming up, I would definitely consider giving the homeowner that referred you. Here's the thing, like if you or your spouse, one of you could actually go deliver if you did a little a care package, you could actually do like a little delivery one day during the day. One of you runs over to either their house. If you know that they work in an office setting, somewhere that the public can interact with them, it's pretty cool to show up at their office with a gift package and say, hey, this is for Joanne Smith. And people are like, what is this? Say, well, Joanne's one of our best clients. This is our referral reward program for Joanne. I mean, you can take the gift and share it for them at their work. You can get creative in even how you're presenting the referral package, gift basket, gift card. Instead of just sending it in the mail, consider like trying to deliver it to the person. You can do this when you're smaller. Okay, look, hear me. Like down the road, when you have like 50 jobs going on, this starts to become a whole different ballgame. But right now, when you're starting out and it's smaller, you can do that personal touch. And it can be a nice extra added bonus, especially if the job of the person who referred you, if they're on the way to or from another job one day, it's easy for you to swing by and say, hey, I really appreciate you guys giving us that referral. Thank you so much. And you understand there's a thing in the world called reciprocity. This is huge. And please hear me, I'm not saying you do this for this, but when you give somebody something nice because they've done something, they innately, like, it's nice to want to reciprocate that back somehow. And everybody wants to, I find that most people are looking for things to help feel good about their day, their life. And why not feel good about doing referrals? I mean, it takes the awkwardness out of it. So, I think we've talked all about what else. You guys, Daisy, you have a busy week. Justin, what about you? You got a busy week coming up? Who else is on here? Electric Leaf. I don't know if I've met you before. You can, you want to introduce yourself? Let us know where you're from, what you do. Uncle Zeke, welcome. I don't know if I know you. You're welcome to introduce yourself. Yep. Fair enough. Take it as it comes. Yeah. So just know that it's a good option to have. You got it. You know what you're doing. So absolutely. The cool thing about this program is you make it what you want it to be. By you setting it up and putting it out into the world, if your goal is to have homeowners try to give you like 3 referrals, you do that. Were you in here when I was talking about the celebration parties? I mean, these are huge. So again, now, yeah, these work a little better when you do like if you start getting into the bathrooms, right? These little parties can be huge. Um, and contractors don't do. Here's what's interesting. I've got a. It's funny. I was out to lunch with a buddy of mine. He just recently bought into a kitchen design business. So he was in the mortgage business for years. And he saw one of my videos. I talked about the referral rewards party, where I talk about you throw a celebration party when you're done a remodel for the homeowner, and you offer to cater it, like man the grill, cook burgers on the weekend. A lot of times you can do these parties for like $100. You can go buy a bunch of burgers, dogs, some buns, buy the condiments, a couple bags of chips, some sodas, and then you just hang out at the homeowner's house and cook the food, and you get to meet their neighbors, or if their daughter's on a softball team and it's the end of the year team party, and all of a sudden you're meeting all these other people and they're like shocked. So anyway, my buddy, he was laughing because he was in the mortgage business for years, and he's like, I was one of the only guys that did that. He goes, he he would man the grill and throw parties after all of his clients bought a house with him. If they used him as the mortgage guy when they did their first home housewarming party, he would sponsor the party. Okay, now he's getting a pretty big commission check, so he got a little more involved in it. But on larger projects, you can totally throw these celebration parties at the end as a reward to the homeowner for getting the project completed, because most homeowners do want to show off, their new deck, their new basement, their new kitchen, their new addition, their bathroom. Who knows? Whatever it could be. So. Still starting stages of wearing company shirts. Okay. Very good. Hey, Daisy, we all start somewhere. This is really good. So yeah, one step at a time. R, best way. Tell me what kind of construction projects you're looking to do. Yeah. So Daisy, once you, I get, so you guys, I think you said California. So I would try to get a sweatshirt and a t-shirt and like some sort of a shirt with a collar, maybe a hat. Get it all branded, same color, similar, or within 2 colors. Usually I recommend 2 colors, no more. If you can, keep it simple. Put that and get your logo lettering, whether it's a magnet or you're getting your vehicle wrapped or painted, whatever. Yeah, it's just that little difference makes a big deal. Usually the guys on the job sites, they're going to be wearing t-shirts, and then you or your whoever's doing the sales for the company, if it's your husband or boyfriend, sorry, I can't recall, please forgive me, but he'll want to have like a shirt, typically with a collar, or like something nice, like a nice fleece that may be embroidered, and he only puts that on when he's going to meet with the homeowners for the first time. you know um, and yeah, all that stuff helps. Okay, so you specialize in framing. And who? Husband. All right, thank you, Daisy. Thank you for clarifying. I will put that up here to remember. And okay, so who are you going after? Are you going after general contractors? Are you doing framing for homeowners? Yeah, totally. So Jay, I definitely embroidery, especially on like nicer clothing, is the way to go. Silk screen on your t-shirts and sweatshirts is fine, especially if that's what you're wearing on the job site, because those things are going to get, they're only going to last a few months to a year tops before, caulk gets on it or it gets ripped on a nail or whatever. So I would just silk screen my t-shirts and sweatshirts typically. But yeah, embroidery, nice. Find somebody who can do really nice embroidery work, get that logo. Uh, Absolutely. Mhm. So, and I would tell you, the best way to bid these jobs is you got to find the people that are looking for the job. So I'm trying to figure out, are you looking for general contractors? Okay. So if he's a GC, and you want to start getting them jobs, yeah, so if it's if I would ask your father, whoever, what's the most profitable work that we do? What are we the best at? What do we specialize in that we do better than everybody else? Let's say it's framing. Um, I would start with going to your local supplier, who building supplier, not necessarily the big box stores. If you live in a community where there's vendors, I would go there, introduce yourself, ask to if you should have a sales rep for wherever you order your lumber from. Talk to that sales rep, ask them if they could start making some connections for you for other general contractors, because maybe there's other GCs that need a framing crew, and that's a good way for you to get in that way. I would be introducing myself to builders in the area. I would literally start Googling and just getting their phone numbers and calling them. Call like 2 or 3 a day. Just introduce yourself. I would stop by job sites, little things like that to start. Yeah. So you could start doing a little campaign if you're younger and you're good with social media. You could start something on maybe an Instagram account or do a couple Facebook posts where you talk about, show off the type of framing that you're doing, and use the frame of mind, how it solves the problem for the person you're trying to attract. So if you're trying to attract other general contractors, say, hey, general contractors, are you having trouble finding a framer that can do complex roofs and hips and whatever it is, or can handle, jobs start to from here to here, or, you put a little bit of that into your video. You're trying to solve their problems. Yeah. Frame of mind. Exactly, Jay. Yep. You're welcome, Mark. Yeah. And Daisy, for you, if it's estimating, that comes with experience. You'll have to tell me what kind of jobs you're estimating. We can try to get you some idea how you know, are you looking for more to understand the process? Or you try like Is your husband going out and coming back to you to write up the estimate? Is he just giving you the details so that you're putting it together in a nice presentation? Or what do you, when you say estimating, help me understand what's going on there. Okay, very good. Are you guys at the point where right now you're just entering it into like a Google Doc, in a sense, doing it off of a Google Sheet? Have you guys, because you just got started, so I'm assuming you probably haven't bought into a software package yet. Maybe you have, but I'm thinking you probably haven't. Yeah, same here. Okay. So I wouldn't, so Daisy, hear this with a grain of salt. There's so many packages, and some, be careful, because it doesn't, just because you buy a software package doesn't mean it's going to solve all your problems. Part of me would say you kind of want to learn how to do it by hand first. And what I'm saying is, in a very basic sense, it's called first principles, right? You look at what is it that we have to do to get the job done, and you and your husband sit down and you come up with the order of operations. So very simply, we have to plan it. We need a design usually, or some sort of a structure, an outline. What are we building? Do we have to get permits or not? Is there going to be any demolition? Are we going to have to run around and order a bunch of materials? Do we have to get specs? Do we have to consult with an engineer? Whatever. You have all these, and then we start demo. If there is, then we start framing, right? And if you can just associate the time that it's going to take you or your husband to do these tasks, and then is there any cost for either materials or subs? Like, how much is the permit going to cost? And then you have to say to yourself, well, how long is it going to take him to get the permit, right? Just by line iteming it out, this is a really good way to get your first few estimates done. So you factor in how many hours it's going to take and the amount of materials, and then you add your markup by you guys talking about how much you're going to mark it up. So, and that can be an easy way to get started. You don't need any software to do that. You can use AI to help you come up with your list, and you can say, hey, we're getting ready to do a bath remodel, and these are the steps that I've anticipated us having to do, and these are the hours that I've anticipated, and you can ask it to tell you what it thinks. You can try that if you're not sure. But I have found by tracking hours and days that I get the most accurate estimates ever doing it that way, as opposed to just plugging things into my software that says, hey, I'm doing a 10 by 12 bath, I'm putting in a new vanity, a new toilet, and it just spits out a number to me. I hope I'm not overwhelming you, but I would just take it step by step. Hey, every day my husband has to take tools out of his truck and set them up in the homeowner's driveway. And then every day he has to take the tools, clean them up, and put them back into his truck. So that's an hour every day, half hour setup, half hour breakdown. Every day he's probably going to spend 20 minutes cleaning up the job site at the homeowner's house. There's 3 hours. The first day there, he has to take 3 hours and put down tarps, and he's going to put ram board over the floors. He's going to put up those plastic zip walls. He has to stage where he's putting the materials. You just think through how many hours is he going to be doing this and that, and then he's going to be talking to the homeowner once a week, like reviewing the job. You have to factor that in. That's an hour or so. He's has to order all the materials. It's going to take him 3 hours to coordinate with all the vendors. Just total amount of hours that he's going to be investing in the job. That's a good place to start. So, and you'll figure it all out over time. It just takes a little bit of time. And then for presenting to the homeowner, this is just my personal opinion. I explain the homeowner all the steps that we're doing, but I don't break out all my prices. So I just usually try to give a price down at the bottom, but I explain to them, hey, we're going to take care of the demo, the framing, the electric, the plumbing. Yeah. Daisy, I would have to know a lot more about the type of work you guys, before I could recommend a software. It's so specific these days to the type of work that you guys do. I know Jay Allen is using some software right now. I don't know, Jay Allen, you're not using it for estimating though, right? You're doing your estimating the way we were talking about, like you break out the job, I think, by the hour. So, but Daisy, yeah, no, definitely come up with an hourly. So, yeah. So Daisy, let me see. I don't know if I can recommend something to you right now. Yeah, I'm not. So. There's just a lot of variables out there. I can share this. So for years, I integrated something called, it was originally called Home Tech. Now it's, I believe, the company that bought it was called Clear Estimates, CLEAR Estimates. So again, this, and I'm not sure if they've merged or been bought out by somebody else. I don't even know, but you might be able to find them to just do estimates. Yeah, with your hourly rate. So what Jay Allen's talking about, Daisy, is your husband has to come up with his hourly rate that he wants to charge. So once you know that, then you just have to figure out your time. Let's say he wants to charge $75 an hour, $150 an hour. I don't know your market 100% and what would work for him. But he would probably be somewhere in that range. And then you'll add in your profit, your overhead, the markup that you guys. Now, in the beginning, this gets challenging. Once you've been in business for 1 year, now you know what your expenses are and what it truly costs to run a business. At where you guys are with just starting, you have to make a lot of guesses. So you'll need to find out how much is his general liability insurance, vehicle expenses, tools, what it's to set up a website if you have one of those. Okay, yep, it's 100. There you go. So yeah, so you just start plugging that in, and then come up. You guys on maybe on like a Google sheet, you should start listing out all the business expenses, everything that the company has to buy to survive, just to be in business. The cost of your office license, the cost of insurance. I don't know if California, if you have to do any extra education to keep a license every couple years, or trainings, um, things like that. If he's going to join like the National Association of Remodelers, NARI, it's called. What that would cost. If he's going to do any networking, what that costs. The cost of his business cell phone. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, JL. Yeah. So Daisy, there's a couple things to look at. You have to come up with some sort of overhead and profit number or percentage that you're going to add to that 100, so that because over time 100 is probably not going to cover everything for the company. So Ads. Yeah, like you mean when you say ads, like marketing, advertising? Yep, that would be part of your business expense. Yeah, you want to spend a small percentage every year. Um, there's more details about what percentage of, you should be spending on marketing depending on what your revenue is. And then there's growth phases. If you're trying to really grow a company, you're going to dump more money into your advertising for a year or two for that growth period. Whereas somebody else who's just relying more on referrals, they're going to be spending a lot less on their advertising because they're not trying to grow. Whatever. Every business is going to have variables. Yeah. Yes, Daisy, all of that exactly. Insurances, all of that gets put on as your business expense. And what you want to try to do is just come up with a yearly total for everything, and then you can divide that out by the number of days that he plans to work, right? So if he wants a few days off here and there, if he wants some vacation, if you guys want to take holidays, whatever, and then you divide that cost for the year by how many days he plans to work. Then you know what to add. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. No worries. You guys will figure it out over time. It's okay. So, and what Jay Allen is saying, so a lot of companies, like if your husband, if he has a helper and it's his truck, and let's say he's picking up the helper and driving, and then there's the setup and breakdown, he's probably going to have to come up with a minimum charge to where he can't go out to a job unless he makes X amount. And where this hurts a lot of companies is you have to look at what could your company make for one day out in the field. Whereas typically it in the remodeling industry, it gets a little tricky to try to be at two places in the same day. Now, if you're just doing service work, like if you guys are doing more like a little handyman, then yes. If he's efficient and quick, he gets in, gets out, then you can have a smaller minimum. Maybe it's a couple $100 for him to come out and he'll try to spend 2 to 4 hours. Yeah. So if you're doing, he's probably, I'm assuming you guys are trying to find jobs that are maybe 3 days minimum, maybe more like a week or a month long. I mean, that's what my experience. So, and then it's more becomes like a day rate. You guys will come up with how much our company has to make per day to mobilize, get the trucks to the job site, get the guys there, the tools set up, you know. Um, yeah. Yep. And then you can start bidding your jobs by you and your husband sitting down and you're like, all right, how many is there demolition? How many days? And here's the thing. When you ask him how long is demo going to take, how long is framing going to take, uh, is he subbing out the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, flooring, whatever, understand that you have to add extra because most of us, we always think the job will be done quicker than it really does happen in real time. In our mind, we're like, get that done in like 3 weeks. In reality, it's probably 4 weeks. So you're probably going to have to help him add some buffer time or just exaggerate just a little bit because he's probably underestimating a few things because we always think it's going to be quicker. Factor in a couple trips to a supply house that he might have, for whatever reason, he missed something. It happens. We all do. Nobody's perfect. This is a complicated business, and there's just so many variables. So I try to add, when I come up with an estimate as a bare minimum, if I list out everything that I have to do on a job, and let's say it comes out to I'm going to be there for 4 days, I'll take a minimum of 10%. So if it's 4 days and that's 8 hours per day, right? I will add an extra 10% of time down at the bottom for miscellaneous that I know is probably going to happen. Yeah, Jay Allen makes a real good point. Probably, Daisy, for your husband's company, you're probably going to be looking at like $1,000 a day, and that I'm assuming that's just for him and helper. Now, if he's got 2 or 3 guys showing up, that changes things. But yeah, for him and maybe a helper, unless if his main guy that works with him is just as talented as he is, then you guys are gonna have to charge more. Yeah, yeah. Like at the end of the day, yeah, Jayon, you're absolutely right. We all have a very similar cost structure. We all have to pay for our business license, our business insurance, the vehicle, the tools, the insurance on the vehicle, right? The cell phone, the basic operating expenses, the website, hosting of the website, the little things that you just have to stay in business. Some, a little bit of swag or gear, t-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever. So some basic advertising has to be going out in place. So, and then obviously his wage. Yeah, you're correct in general. Absolutely, Jay. Daisy, the thing it is most guys, it's averages. You just want to be covered. Look, some job in the beginning, you're going to have some really good jobs where you make profit, and you might have a couple where you don't. And a lot of that's just the learning curve of estimating your time. So the better that you guys are at figuring out the time, the better you'll be. Also, the better you are at charging more and giving yourself a buffer and not being scared to put a high price out there. Letting the homeowner know up front, if we're not one of the most expensive, we probably did something wrong. I should, what I'm saying is his part of his sales pitch to the homeowner should already be like, Mr. and Miss Smith, we're not trying to be the cheapest, nor are we the cheapest, because we're licensed, we're insured, we're reliable, we're professional, right? We're predictable. We show up every day. We get the job done right the first time. These low bid companies out there, they're high risk. They can't do all that. That's why their price is down here. They're just trying to lure you in, and so he'll start feeling comfortable charging a higher price, and by doing that, he ensures himself to be profitable, which keeps you guys in business. All good things. Jay Allen, now that you're coming up on your 1 year, congratulations, by the way, for the most part, your jobs are all profitable, I'm assuming, because of the way you're bidding them and doing the service work. You find that you're able to keep your profit margin pretty consistent throughout the year on all your jobs? Yeah. Yeah, marketing and referrals are definitely important. Yeah, so Daisy, if you can, you guys could be thinking about how you're going to market your business. What problems do you solve for the homeowner? That's always the key, is to come at it from that concept. There's lots of different things you can read on marketing, and yeah, finding good referrals will help you grow a lot faster. Uh, Jay Allen, you're very humble. Jay Allen's a very smart, talented business person who is doing exceptionally well. So I know you're throwing it up to luck, but there's no luck. Yeah, Daisy, there's a lot of different marketing tips. It's hard to put them out there at the moment. You you got to sit down and think about who. So there's a whole process. It's called the client avatar. You want to look at who is the ideal client. Like, when your husband sits down, when he dreams about how successful the business is, who is the number one client that he wants to work for every single time? What does that person look like? Like, what neighborhood do they live in? What type of house? What kind of income do they have? What type of project is it? Once you understand that, then you say, how do we solve problems for this type of homeowner? What are the problems that they have? Like, maybe we get into doing design build work because we want to work for wealthier clients, whatever it is. Then we start creating the marketing message to attract the ideal client. And hear me when I say this, what a lot of people will do is, in their mind, they think, hey, I just need to tell everyone that I'm a remodeler. And they just say, we do kitchens. And they just make some random ad that says, call Joey's Kitchen Company, $500 off. And they just run around town and they give it out all over the place. They have no definitive plan, right? You're like a chicken with their head cut off, running all around, 500 here, 500 off there. You would have more success if you said, we want to work for homeowners in this type of a neighborhood that earn this much money. They like to do these types of projects, right? And then you create your ad and your market and you target those specific neighborhoods. Or if you're going to use Facebook, you can do a campaign on Facebook where you tell it, I want to work with homeowners that are aged between here and here, and they have income levels between this and that, right? And you can really refine who you're sending your message to. So for me, as a remodeling contractor, I find that I want to work with people that tend to be like between 40 and 65. They have more money, and they're willing to invest in a more of a quality product. They typically have waited for years to fix up their house. Uh, Typically, they tend to be people that their kids have just gone off to college or just graduated from school. Yeah. Yeah, and the niche, absolutely, Joe. Think about this, Daisy. Like, you and your husband can work for anyone any day. It's much easier to work with people that just have more money and appreciate you, as opposed to the person that's struggling to even have you on the site and is trying to nickel and dime you down. Like, you can only do one job at a time until you build a bunch of crews. So your time and energy is better spent finding the ideal customer that appreciates you, that wants to pay you for your knowledge, your husband's expertise. So he'll get, that's who you want to try to find in the beginning, if you can. Yeah. And pick your niche. He's got in my opinion, just walking around saying that you're a general remodeler is not the best approach when you're first starting. He should pick his lane. Like, you guys do amazing kitchens, baths. He's a great craftsman and builds really nice decks or patios and pergolas. Whatever it is, I will try to focus on the one thing for the first year and get really well known. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still do the other jobs when they come to you, but it's much easier to just focus on one niche in the beginning and get well known for that thing. Now, a lot of guys will say, but Mike, I can't find enough kitchens. I need to just take on any job that I can. And I hear that. And what I would say to you is, that's you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off at that point, in my opinion. Yeah. So if I was him and you're looking at marketing, I would, if you love kitchens, this is perfect. If he loves kitchens, your first marketing campaign should be around getting more kitchens and trying to get into neighborhoods where those kitchens work well for you guys. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. So, and what you can do is come up with so your first ad is marketing towards people that want kitchens. You guys can also have a secondary flyer that you hand to all the homeowners that hire you to do kitchens. And there it can tell them about your ancillary services. Hey, we also do decks, we do bathrooms. So you can still have that brochure so that you can get repeat business from those homeowners. But when you're initially trying to attract the client in the first time, focus on the one thing. Yeah, you guys are going to crush it, Daisy. You and your husband, it's going to be an amazing year for you. So excited to hear about your success. Mm, yeah, you're welcome. And Jay Allen's going to be celebrating his 1 year anniversary of his amazing business in a couple days, so that's exciting to hear. Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's no better place to start your own remodeling trades business than in America right now. It's hands down, really is. Uh, yeah, yeah. No, give a high five to Jay Allen. I mean, he's crushed his first year, so that's amazing. It really is. It's got to. I mean, I hope you're excited, Jay Allen. I'm excited for you. I think it's awesome. So it doesn't happen for everybody. I mean, 50% of small businesses fail within the first 3 years. So you're already doing better than half of your competitors. 70% fail within 5, and I think only 10% of small businesses in America make it to their 10-year anniversary. So, yeah. So we'll be excited to watch Jay Allen dominate the Texas market with the plumbing business for sure. All right. Well, you guys have been awesome. I appreciate all the questions and comments. And if I can answer another one or two, or maybe it's time to wrap up tonight. Anybody want to ask anything specific? Let me know. Yeah. No, thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Again, you're very helpful and insightful. You give a lot of good advice to a lot of people. I appreciate it. Um, so, And Daisy, if you don't already have it, you should. There's a link in my bio. You and your husband might want to click on that, and you can get the free book and get an invite into the. I've got a Facebook group that you could be a part of if you want. That's all free as well, and you'll see other information put in there. There's some files. There'll be some posts, different downloads that can address all the things that you need to do for your new remodeling business as well. So that's all for free. If you're interested in it, have at it. It's there for you. Okay. You're welcome. Yep. You guys are going to do great. Just the fact that you're paying attention and looking for information that already telling you, it sets you above most of your competition. So like I said, the bar is pretty low in the industry. So you guys are going to do awesome. Your husband should give you a big hug and thank you for being in his helping him out with his business like this. Yeah, it is. It is the key to success, Jayon. Absolutely. So, well, for those of you that have been here tonight, thanks for joining, and hopefully you walk away with something helpful. Yeah, have a great evening, and we'll be back for another one. We're going to be on day 78, and we'll be just talking about helping you, again, getting some more referrals. We do something called touch points, so just more stuff helping you drum up more business. All right, guys, have an awesome night. Take care. Thanks for being here. Yep. Thanks, Jay Allen. Have a good one.